This will be the condition inspection video of our 1958 Alfa Romeo Giulietta Spider Veloce. We are up here at renowned Giulietta specialist, the Giulietta Studio, up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, here in Lake Bluff, Illinois, where this beauty was sent from its owner in California about a year and a half ago to be recommissioned, if you will, somewhat race car decommissioned. Great history with the car, has been in the family with our owner since 1963, was purchased by his father and was street car driven, was race car driven, it was autocrossed, it was tracked, and has been part of the family since 1963. It's a black plate California car. We have the original black plates, front and rear. When I say original, I mean original to the family ownership. So we do have 63 on the plates. We will get into that history a little bit more later. So unfortunately, original owner of the family passed away a couple of years ago, and in tribute, his son sent it to the Giulietta Studio to have it refreshed, recommissioned, and turned back into more street use ready. We do have pictures of it when it was raced in period, with the sponsorship, the decals, the numbers. Really a tremendous history on the car. It is indeed all quote-unquote numbers matching, where folks realize that all the numbers on the stampings, the doors, the hood, the trunk, it's all there. The car is extremely original. Really astounding for a car that was raced in period, because generally these were driven hard, and sometimes they were wrecked, sometimes they were bumped, and rarely do you see one that was actually raced still with all of its original panels. And this is one of those cars. So we have matching hood, trunk, door stampings, trunk floor. It's impressive. So arrived to the Giulietta Studio with its racing livery, all of the aforementioned numbers and stencils that have been on the car for literally decades. So those were removed. The car was wet sanded, the car was buffed, and it is now wearing street livery, as you can see. So it does have a 1600 Veloce motor and a more modern 5-speed, but the original number stamped motor, the 1300, and the original tunnel 4-speed trans that the car was born with come with the car. So it is really the best of both worlds. So the starting and driving videos will show just how well sorted this beauty is at the hands of the Giulietta Studio. It's turnkey, ready to go, has been serviced, has had a lot of updates. The brakes, the lines, the hoses, everything's been gone through, been rebuilt. All the aforementioned have been replaced. Fluids have been done. It's got brand new Vredestein Sprint Classics all the way around. So again, truly turnkey, ready to go. So as I get closer and closer to the car for folks' inspection, you will start to see that it is not a perfect car, nor is it presented to be, but it's an extremely original car. It did get a repaint. Our owner does not recall if it was done before or after Dad's acquisition in 1963, but it was repainted in an Alfa red. It is not its original Alfa red, but it still presents very, very nicely. So you will also see when we get closer up that the original Veloce nods, for example, no mirrors. It did have mirrors on it for racing purposes. Giulietta Studio removed the mirrors, and those holes are present but filled. Custom tonneau was commissioned, very attractive. We have pictures of that. Lovely look for parking with the top down. It has a relatively recent top in excellent condition. We do have records going all the way back into the 70s with the car. Apologies for background noise. So basically, it is ready for a new life, its next chapter. So now getting into the patina of the car is really the best way to put it. So we'll start here in the left front fender. Folks can see we've got a little bit of a touch there. We've got some touch up there. We've got a little cracking area and touch up there. Just above the hearth, we've got a little touch up there. Got a little crack in the paint there. So it is about 3:40 p.m. so we do have setting sun, but I thought it's a good spot to put it to be able to point everything out. So as I mentioned, it is not a perfect car. It's extremely presentable, but the patina from decades of racing is really more of a badge of honor. So that looks to be about what we've got in the front. Here's a tiny little nick there that was touched up. Some of this you can't tell because it is quite windy. Even though it is October here in Chicagoland, we are experiencing some well above average temperatures. So it is low 70s today. So here is what I had alluded to earlier. This is one of the spots where the passenger side mirror was installed. So that has been filled. You see it's capped and it has been painted. So those caps can come off if the next owner or caretaker so desires. That can be metal plated and completely disappear. So here is the bright work around the windshield. It is a new windshield. The windshield that was on the car unfortunately was cracked, showing the stainless on the wiper arms and the wiper blades. Very nice, very correct. The hood hinges and the strake down the center. Both pieces present very, very nicely. Here is the other hood hinge, and as I get close I can see there's a tiny little touch up right there. So I don't want to take it into the sun for the glare, and there is a tiny little touch up right there ahead of that hood hinge. So here is the rest of the windshield frame. So new, hard to find, not inexpensive, fresh windshield. The rest of the glass on the car is original. We have that shot. So up the top of the fender here, we have a little piece of patina, and then here are the other two filled in spots for what was the driver's side view mirror. So getting here to the fender, where the fender meets the door, we've got a couple of spots right there. The rest of the driver's door, we have some light marks there, a little bit of touch up right there. circling now around to the left rear quarter panel. We've got a tiny little crack right there. Tiny little crack right there. And the rest of the quarter, this tiny little bit right there, just ahead of the left rear brake light assembly. Little nick right there. We will get into opening the doors, hood, and trunk. I just wanted to give folks a around superficial inspection of the car. So here is now our trunk. We've got scratch right there, little crack right there. A lot of the stuff is really, really hard to see. Hard to tell if that's... We have a tiny little speck right there. I know this may seem overly critical, but definitely want folks to see what is going on. So we've got a little horizontal crack right there. That's max zoom in. It's about 2 inches away from the car. Obviously that's my forefinger. Any kind of distance pulling away, and really the vast majority of this stuff just, it vanishes. So just above the trunk emblem, we have this vertical crack right here. Some light scratching, as you can see in the trunk. A little bit right there. Tiny speck right there. This is probably the worst of, really, on the back of the car and on the entire car. This little 1.5 inch, 1.75 inch piece of patina right here. So Brightwork generally presents very, very, very nicely. It is not flawless, but it is very nice. Looks like it was redone some time ago. So it is driver level quality, if not a little bit better. Some of the compound there from the wet sanding and the buffing, that should come out with some damp rag. But here, right rear quarter now, we've got a few items there. Base of the bumper, a little bit of cracking there. But as I mentioned, the Brightwork itself, very, very nice. We do have a little bit of patina right there, kind of hard to see unless you get it at an angle. So, not sure if that's a little bit of pitting, or maybe when they were redone, just a little bit of air got in there. But for the most part, really any kind of a distance, Brightwork is outstanding. Midsection back, you'll see in the undercarriage shots that the exhaust was replaced. Sounds fantastic if you watch the driving videos. So a lot of new and updated stuff on the car, bringing it up to snuff for turnkey use. So do have back here by the bumperette, we have a little crack right here. This little soft U shape. It's maybe 3.5 inches or so. And then right here below the passenger side tail light, we have some cracking going on. Hard to see even though I've been over the car multiple times. A lot of the stuff, because it doesn't jump out at you until you're really on top of it, you do not see it. So here's that 63 original black plate, California plate that I was talking about. WYZ, the Whiz, was the owner's father's nickname when he was on the track racing the car. So the Whiz stayed. Whiz is a play on the owner's last name. So 1963, as you can see, and 2011 California sticker. We have a couple of other stickers in the folder. So the car was registered and run, I think, up until 2018, 2019, when our original owner just got to be too up in years to be running it. So this is the custom tonneau that I was mentioning. We do have it pulled back right now, but it does, as you can see, it comes all the way up. It snaps into place. It snaps into the dash and really makes a nice finished look. So go ahead and finishing up now the exterior portion of the cosmetic. I think that's pretty much everything on the paint. Coming up to the front now, the eyebrows. So very, very, very nice shape. Some tiny, tiny, tiny specks of imperfections here, whether they be scratches or a little bit of pitting. And here inside we have some peeling, not peeling, but some delaminating of the paint. You can just feel it if you put your finger on it, but it's just from years of rubbing. So, but the eyebrows, the bumperettes, the bumpers, the grille, the bright work, everything presents very, very nicely. It does have its license plate bracket here. So if you're in a front license plate oppressive state, you can certainly attach your plate and leave that on there. If not, you can remove it. So there's your lights, there's your rings. So underneath the chin, nicely preserved, shown in the undercarriage pictures. So we've got a little bit of spot right here. It's hard to tell because the glare is so bright, but have a little bit of rubbing right here. That really looks, again, some commensurate spots like on the other side of the bumper, but again, so minute, hard to tell until you're on top of it. So that is your exterior presentation. Getting into the interior now. Interior presents very, very nicely. Looks like the seats were redone at some point. Have the correct pattern on them, the correct splits where the material is supposed to be. Got some red piping, and hard to tell, but this very well could be original carpeting. So it does have the correct rubber mats in place, correct gear shift knob, gauges all appear to be original, currently showing 57,650 miles. So difficult to say if the Odo has flipped over or if that is original mileage. We do know that the car was in obviously very, very limited use from 1963 on, so when it was a mere 5 years old. So that very well could be original mileage. So checking out the upper dash area, very, very nice, very, very clean. There's your rear view mirror and the bits for holding down the aforementioned tonneau. Nice presentation on the glove box, really nice presentation on the Pininfarina badge. Gauges all really quite clear, quite crisp. The numbers, the needles, everything's in really nice condition. The bright work on the dash paint itself, it all presents very, very nicely. E-brake handle, wiring, everything is neatly and correctly tucked. So hardware for seat adjustment, plenty of pictures of the rear showing the tire, of very correct and complete toolkit. Cannot say if it's original to the car or not, but again, very, very nice presentation. The jambs, the sills. So, controls, the wheel. Driver's door panel. So now come back around to the trunk, where originality really abounds here. It's so nice. We'll go ahead and prop it. So it's pretty obvious that this is all original. No portion of the trunk, the floor, has been replaced. So again, remarkably well preserved, especially considering that it has been a race car for all of these years. Plenty of pictures showing the metal below the correct mat with the correct hold downs in place. Hold downs were replaced as part of the Giulietta studio recommissioning. So very clean, very solid. Whatever little bit of oxidation you see is really just only surface. It is, for the most part, really, really nicely preserved. I know I keep saying that, but it's really astounding the level of completeness, original completeness that the car presents. So if that isn't obvious by the original shock mounts, so obviously you can see there's years of touch-up over the ownership. So you can see, if you look closely, the original darker red that the car came in, and then with the slightly more fire engine red, if you will. Just go ahead and leave that propped. Coming around to the passenger side. Jam sill area. Have a couple of really small areas of some chipping, some touch-up. I can't even call this perforation. It's just cracking paint, fuzzy. Here's your door itself. Sorry, let's go ahead and check out this side. Got down there, saw the left front jacking point. All four original jacking points are there, shown in the undercarriage shots. So, there's a view from this side, passenger side, footwell compartment. Again, there's the glove box, your instrumentation, radio link plate. Now we'll get around to opening the hood. Nice and smooth, easy. 2 fingers pulling that open. As you saw, the ease with which the doors close and open, nicely sorted. The Giulietta studio. A little tough on the one hand. Apologies. That down. Twin Italian Webers on the 1600 motor. Again, just a fantastic presentation. Not of a show car, not of glitz and glimmer, but of really a lot of originality, a lot of correctness. Certainly period. And here is our number, 04198 1495 AR, matching to the original underhood plate. And as I mentioned, the 1300, original 1300 motor with correct stamping is included, comes with the car. Hope you've enjoyed the presentation.